If you grew up playing video games, you've definitely run into or maybe even played one of these. Yeah, a game that's pretty middling on the content side, but makes up for that with a recognizable licensed character on the package. Or a licensed game. These were everywhere for a while. A new movie would come out and literally on the same day, a video game with the same name was right there. And unfortunately, most of the time, they were pretty bad. The controls sucked, the game was buggy, there wasn't really much effort put into it, and sometimes it was so bad that the game wouldn't even function correctly. Hell, this was so well known that the term licensed video game became synonymous with shovelware.
Say it with me, the cheat. Licensed video games are never good.
But sometimes, on a rare occasion, you get something that's actually worth your time. Sometimes you get lucky and get to play an actual fun video game separate from the source. And sometimes you'd even have fun. Yeah, I'm going to go over some of those today. With this being a pretty much dead genre nowadays, I want to go through some of my favorite games from this time, talk about what I find cool about them, and see if they still hold up today. I also want to use this time to highlight games that I don't see people talk about that much. Sure, there's games like SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom, and this Simpsons game that I've never heard of, but those have been discussed to death. Literally. So I think going over lesser discussed games and shining light on a few good ones is a good way to mix it up. Are these games actually good? Well, let's find out. My name is Zenith, and join me as I go over 3 licensed games that are actually pretty good. I think. I don't really know. Boys, if you enjoy this video, make sure to smash that sub button. It's really the best way to tell me if I'm doing a good job. And let's start off our licensed game journey with... Hey everybody, welcome to Ratatouille land. Let's do this. Oh, what the fuck? You can only put 3 letters as your name? Maybe this game sucks, actually. Starting off, I want to go over one of the best Pixar movies, Ratatouille. Now, this is an interesting case because this was made during the peak of the licensed game fad. And that time was also a middle period where 2 console generations were still very popular. So to capitalize and make as much money as possible, Ratatouille actually has 2 separate versions of itself. One being released for consoles like the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, while a newer version was released for the PS3 and Xbox 360. There's also portable versions of this game, but... listen, I'm not sure how different these versions are. All I really know is that the more modern release, there's a section where Ratbuskus over here plays music to do something. And the only reason I know why that exists is because Jerma's playthrough would autoplay when I'd fall asleep to his Simpsons Hit and Run VOD. And when I heard that song play, I would know that I really overslept. Anyway, enough said. The version I'm playing is the old PS2 one, specifically for the GameCube because it was just easier to record for. Which now I'm regretting because this game doesn't even respect me enough to put 4 letters as my name. Who the hell even has a 3-letter name? What the fuck? Yes, I am very hung up on this. Anyway, we start off somewhere in France. Literally. And our main goal for right now is to collect apple cores to learn the basics of the game. You run around, you learn to jump, you double jump, you climb. You pretty much learn the basics for every 3D platformer ever. Once we get inside the house, we learn of the rat smell-o-vision, which shows you the direct path to where the next objective is. And this actually comes really in handy when we get to some of the more complex levels out there. I'm saying complex, but I'm pretty sure like this game was made for 5-year-olds. So... I'm just stupid. Anyway, we do a little bit more. We get some more apple cores until we get enough apples to keep the doctor away. Yeah. One part I want to highlight is this part where you can hide inside of a box and you have to use it to get past this chicken. Because what's going to become really apparent quickly is that as a rat, everyone and everything hates you. Chickens hate you, cats hate you, boiling lobsters absolutely hate you, and people especially hate you. Your only friends in this world are your rat brethren. And trust me, there are a lot more enemies out there than there are friends. With that said, we finished the tutorial by learning to ride down a river using a can, which seems pretty useless until, it's storming out, and all your rat brothers are getting away. And now we need to chase them while the atmosphere attacks us. Yeah, everything really fucking hates you in this game. Jesus Christ, dude. After chasing for a while, we lose sight of the rats and we end up in Home Stink Home. This is our hub world of the game that connects every single other level. And as you can see, it's a rat's paradise. Anyway, with the help of the rat smell-o-vision, we go down this very conspicuous hallway. And once we reach the end, we find the entrance to Gusteau's. In Gusteau's, you do the first of many cooking mini games. These will occur throughout the entire game and they do get pretty difficult by the end. But for now, we're given no time limit. And the only thing that randomizes as of right now is the button you have to press for whatever ingredient you need. Once we finish our delicious soup,
soup. The camera pans to Linguini staring at us with the Riz stare. And Remy getting rizzed up as he looks. Runs as fast as he can so he doesn't fall in love. After every level, there's a big tube slide you have to slide down. And it's seriously a fun little challenge to see how fast you can go on these things. There's also obviously secret paths you could take, but I have no idea how to get there. But honestly, these slides aren't too bad. They're just really fun to go down fast.
Once we get back to Homestink Home, we're greeted by our rat friend, who I guess we found during the cutscene that I skipped. Anyway, he wants to plan a heist to steal food from the kitchen, and we need Remy's help to do it. So into the City of Lights we go. The City of Lights is the first level in the game, and it's not meant to be too difficult, but there definitely are some sections that can be pretty tricky if you don't pay attention. If I don't pay attention. Although the world is open, there are linear-based objectives that we need to complete if we want to progress, and they're always indicated by these big blue pillars. Going up to the first pillar, we recognize there's a dog blocking our path, and what we gotta do is go through a little platforming challenge to get a bone to launch near the dog so he gets distracted. Now, for the first playthrough, you're probably wondering how you even figure this shit out, but the rat smell-o-vision comes in clutch, because it pretty much shows you the exact path you need to take. After that, we have to destroy 4 rat traps scattered around the area. These are probably placed to deter the rat infestation, but they can easily be destroyed with a wooden spoon that are conveniently placed around the fucking area. And so we get done with that lickety-split. Next up, we make our way to the roof by doing a quick little platforming challenge, and I decided to take a little intermission with a cheese mini game. Every level has a couple of these dream worlds, which are short little platforming challenges akin to something like Mario Sunshine's No Flood missions. The only goal is to get to the end. It's not super difficult. Some parts require some patience, which I don't have, and beating it doesn't really give you anything. It's just a nice little time waster. Throughout my playthrough, I only ended up doing this one, but honestly, it was pretty fun, and I may go back to do the rest after I'm done with this epic win video. The next part of the mission is kind of boring. You just walk around the roof to get to female Ratina to prepare more for the big heist. It's really not that big of a deal, so I'm just gonna skim by that.
And after that, we can... God damn it.
And after that, we can start our first heist. This is what the game really centers around. It's a lot different than the movie because every level, the rats set up a heist so they can feed themselves, which means we don't really focus on the Linguini-Remy connection here. In fact, it's actually not really that important to this game at all, but I don't think that's really a bad thing because I think the heists are super fun. Like for this one, we have to hack into the system by pressing a bunch of button commands, and then we have to use the strong rat to pull a bucket of trash down with a bunch of food in it, and then we have to guide our rat friends to the sewer with the food without this evil dog catching us. I won't lie, each part is pretty unique and engaging enough to keep me interested throughout the entire thing. After everybody gets out, we get a cutscene where Linguini finds Remy. And uh-oh, our exit is blocked. And now we have to get away from Linguini or else we'll fucking die. Now, remember when I said that everybody hates you? Yeah, I meant it. Linguini just saw an entire horde of rats, but since we're the one to solo out, he goes through hell on earth to try and catch you. This is the first chase sequence in the game where you have to run towards the camera away from Linguini, trying your best to get away. But man, it doesn't matter how much of a doofus he is, he refuses to let you go. I mean, like, look at this. It's getting a bit ridiculous, okay? I get we made the greatest soup of all time, featuring whole tomatoes and cauliflower, but come on, give it up. After about a minute of being chased, Linguini hops on a bike, which allows him to almost catch us. Oh my god. After that, we feel bad, and Linguini recognizes us for the soup we made, and we instantly become rat-human friends, and down the epic swirly slide we go. That's the basic structure of this game. We run around, we explore the area we're at, we plan a big food heist with our rat friends, we get chased, and then we go down the epic swirly slide. You may think this gets repetitive, but there's only 3 levels left, and each one has enough going on to the point where it really doesn't get boring ever. And speaking of other levels, the next one is in the kitchen. Somehow Dad Rat and every other one found a way to get into Gusteau's, so now they can steal more food from the source. I don't know why they didn't just do that before, but so into Little Chef Big Kitchen we go. Right when we enter, we see that there is a lot going on. Instead of being an open big city, we're in an active kitchen with a lot of people doing their own thing, and we're just a tiny little rat trying to rob it. Anyway, the first goal is to traverse the land and get to our first rat friend right near the double doors to set up the mission. This one involves us turning off the main gas switch so we can turn all the burners off, so it becomes easier to set up traps as all the humans are confused. To do this, we have to go on top of the kitchen area, hopping on top of what I presume to be coffee machines, and floating down with an umbrella to get on top of the kitchen, and then jumping on the light post to get to the switch. It's hard to explain in a video like this, but this is such a creative way to use the environment around you, because what looks innocuous like a coffee station in a kitchen becomes this big platforming Mario-esque playground to jump around and traverse. But we can't reminisce about this for too long, because once we go over to the next rat, we get interrupted by oh mama.
It's okay, Linguini. I'm here to help you get the girl. And I guess do a little bit of work as well.
Now we're controlling Linguini, as Remy, and we have to do little mini games to make the chef special. The first one is picking the right ingredients for a salad or maybe ratatouille. I don't know. Linguini hovers his hand over an ingredient and you press X to deny it or A to select it. Make 4 full plates and you're done here. There's also one big timer that can get pretty strict throughout the later missions, but that didn't stop me from having a little bit of fun.
Hey, what up, girl? What are you doing?
The next and final one for this section is a potato peeling minigame where you just rotate the control stick a bunch of times to peel the potato and then you spam the A button to cut it. Once we're done, we get the notification that we worked like a chef and Linguini is spared for another day. Maybe one day he'll get the girl.
Once we're done with that boring human business, we set up the next part of the heist, which is to rig the door to open up after Big Rat Guy pulls it. And to do that, we have to go really out of our way to get to the door handle. Again, this is another platforming puzzle challenge, but this is also the first time that we actually interact with humans here. They act like every other enemy we've encountered so far, where if they see you, a circle starts to fill up red, but instead of being stationary, the humans move around and do their own thing. So sneaking by them is a lot scarier than you'd think. Anyway, we go past Blonde Buskus, and then we have to get past Chef Buskus, and I really didn't know what to do. Ah, no! Help me! Help me! Once we get past his line of sight, though, we can easily get to the door and rig a rope up. And then it's Linguini time again, baby. God, she's so demanding, bro. Woman, am I right? For Linguini, we have to do the salad game again. And then we have to build a cake, which works akin to a rhythm game, where you have to press the correct button while it's in the little circle over here. And then the final task for this chef special is the signature soup. The difference between this one and the one Remy did at the beginning of the game is now that in conjunction with the buttons randomizing, the vegetable next to it also randomizes with it, which takes just a little more brain power than all the other games. I'm kind of ass at this, I won't lie. And now we have to do the final part to set up the heist, which is to again go really out of the way, platforming again to reach a key, which we then have to break up to Lady Ratstaffer over here. Once we've done that, oh my fucking god. Yeah, we have to do another Linguini cooking game. If you can't tell, this is the gimmick for the level. So we do salad, we hit on our lady friend again.
Hey, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend.
Okay. Do the soup and then the cake. And now it's time for the big day. Yeah! First, we have to use Chungus to pull the door open, and then we go inside the door we unlocked with the key. We shoot the glowing food because it's the correct one to steal. After that, we have to sneak the food away from some really smart chefs, and then we're home free.
Oh, golly, we're not freaking home free.
The really terrifying head chef finds us, and now we have to do another chase sequence. This one is a lot more interesting than the one with Linguini, mainly because of the scenery and the context around it. With Linguini, our main obstacles are just like wooden planks and random wine bottles. But for this one, there's fire, there's pots and pans we have to jump around, and we really get a view of how disheveled this place is. Not to mention the head chef Buskus over here.
Dude, it's Gabe Uskus.
Seriously fucking hates us. Once we play Ring Around the Rosie enough, we finally get out. The door slams shut and head chef Chungus is left demoralized. We go down a slide again and then we poop our pants. We're about halfway done with the game now, so I think it's time for a little intermission game. The goal is to beat this maze before I can do it. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Our next goal is to go to the city market.
Not more stealing, Dad, okay?
It's not stealing. We're going to the biggest market in Paris. Today's shipment day.
You just said you weren't stealing! This one is by far the biggest, most complex level we've seen yet. And to even make it to the first mission, we have to go all the way across the market, avoiding all the 5 people there, so we can even talk to our first rat friend. And man, this game puts it really in scope of how small you are in this world. I think the main reason why this game has stuck with me for so long is because it really makes you feel like, well, a rat in a vast open world ready to explore. And this level exemplifies this perfectly. Everything here is redundant in real life. Chairs, poles, meat, fruit, fucking children are all massive obstacles that you get to traverse. It makes for what is normally in real life a boring, rundown, empty market into this gigantic area to platform around. Our first mission, though, is unfortunately not as exciting. We meet the crackhead rat. Peter, what are you doing?
Crack.
We meet the skinny hacker rat who wants to work the forklift for the heist, but it's missing a couple batteries, so our goal is to bring the batteries back. The only problem is that there are these crabs who take literally anything you pick up. These crabs are so annoying because the item could be sitting right next to them and they don't care, but once Remy picks it up, they just want to troll you and take it away from you. The way to beat these crabs is to get a wooden spoon and hit them once to flip it over, and then you hit them again for the kill. And if they take your stick, you gotta smack below bit. Tell them, get away. The next part of the plan is to set up the food that we want to steal so that when the heist begins, the food is in position. This has this platform around the entire map and avoiding the same model for vendors like 3 times so we can get a big steak, I think, a slab of meat, an award-winning muffin, and a giant fish. Now, doing this seems like a long-ass task, and it was. But what made it even longer was the fact that I suck at platforming. Well, no, I don't suck. It's the game. The game sucks at platforming. Oh, yeah. God. Damn it. But eventually I got all the items in position and it was time to set up our heist. This involves this old lady over here who, in the actual movie tried killing Remy. And once she wakes up from her deep slumber, she begins to walk around the market to look at things, I guess. And what we gotta do is that when she's in position, we push the food that we previously set up into her rolly bag. Now, under the stress of wasting too much time and failing the mission, I ended up rushing and, but luckily there is no time limit. She will literally stand here forever if we have to, so we can get the mission done easily. Thank God this is a kid's game and not Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. We do this for all 3 food items, and now it's time for the heist. The first part of the heist is to press the button sequence like we did for the first one, but this time it's to work the crane so we can steal the lady's bag. The second part has us match a color sequence on the top of the screen with these bottom switches, and we do this by standing on 2 switches at a time and pressing the left and right trigger according to whatever switch you're standing on. And for the final part, we have to use Rat Chungus again to pull the bag onto the scale. And once it's on the scale, it freaks out so much that it launches the bag right into Remy's trap, and the food goes somewhere. I don't know actually. But then,
That means you got to escape.
are you serious? He's in work attire, bro. Now the head chef is chasing us again, this time not in his own kitchen, but at a public market. This guy is having an absolute schizo meltdown right now. But he's not the only one chasing us because, again, everybody hates you. And the old lady from before wants us so dead she channels her inner fountain of youth. And we have to escape from the 2v1. Out of all the chase sequences in the game, I think this one's my favorite, just because of the fact that the old lady kind of just gets in the guy's way. But just like that, we do it, and now the head chef gets stuck in the freezer. And he's so cold. We just gave this poor man frostbite for the sin of hating a rat. Another slide, another time Remy gets to sound by himself, and we are now at the final level. The kitchen is in absolute disarray, and for once, we're here to help the humans.
Get in there and help your friend finish this meal, and we're gonna help.
Oh, look, you had like a big
Last
change
thing
of
we
heart.
want is to lose this restaurant and its wonderful food supply.
So let's go into the deserted kitchen. Dessert. And as we can see, it is a mess. Linguini can't do anything, the woman is trying to console him, and the head chef is loving all of it.
Don't worry, Linguini. We're here to save the day. And maybe after we can cook some more food, we can...
Our first goal to even begin to help Linguini is to get rid of this evil head chef. Because if you can't tell, he kinda fucking hates us. So we're not gonna be able to help the kitchen if he's still here. The way we do this is we platform around the entire area and destroy sets of dishes so he comes over and gets all distracted. Doing this is quite the process though, because there is so much shit on the ground. There is a lot in this level trying to kill you at all times. There's these lobsters and buckets that hate you and throw shit at you. There's these shrimp that come out of barrels and just attack you mercilessly. There's just so much crap and mousetraps scattered all around the floor. This map is really the hardest map in the game. But one by one, we destroy each stack of plates to get the head chef closer to the door. We take a can to be able to jump on this vacuum cleaner, distract the head chef, and then we close the door. Part 2 of this mission is make this place safe for rats to roam around in. So we have to destroy 7 entire rat traps to make it safe once again. Now, throughout the entire game, we've been destroying rat traps with wooden spoons. But I roamed around a lot here, and I could not find a singular one.
Okay, I need to find where the spoons are. Oh, spoons, where are you? Okay, but seriously, where are they? Hey, do you know where the spoons are?
And it doesn't help that these shrimp move fast as hell, and they target on you super hard.
Ow.
It's never easy,
Jerk.
is it?
Spoon, spoon, spoon. Ow, fucker.
I died quite a bit here trying to find one singular spoon. And I really got to the point where I thought the game was bugged, because how am I meant to destroy 7 rat traps if I can't even find one fucking thing to destroy it with? Until, by accident...
What? Oh, I gotta put the fish in the... Oh.
Yeah, so we have to bait the shrimp, not fish, into the rat traps to destroy them. Now, this isn't like telegraphed at all, or maybe I missed it from the opening cutscene, but you know, it's not my fault. It's not my fault, okay? Anyway, we destroy all 7 rat traps, and then we go to the lady rat to see what's going on.
What's she doing?
Hey, what are you doing?
What she's doing is trying to get into the head chef's office to get the Gusteau book so they can cook the big recipe for the big critic guy. I don't even think he's in this game though, but they're trying to do it for him, I think. Luckily, we're a rat, and by using a lot of bombs and a lot of spoons and a lot more bombs, we can get into this little hole over here and into the office ourselves. Which brings up a new challenge of how are we gonna get to this book?
Dude, why is every fucking jump like a million miles away?
I can't make this jump. What are they expecting from me? Why is this level so hard? It took me, again, quite a little bit of time here. What I meant to do is I meant to platform around on top of these poles to get to this umbrella so I can float down, to be able to jump on top of the bookcases, and the rest is self-explanatory. Once we get the book, we push it down to the female over here, and we get signal to make one final dish. This final dish is reminiscent of the linguini missions from level 2, with another couple heist-themed minigames baked in. Like the first one, where we have to do the trigger game again, like the city market, and then we have to make a salad doing the same thing like we did for linguini, but now it's just a bunch of rats picking your food and, ew. Then we make the signature soup where Remy gives ingredients and the rats throw them in. And finally, we have to make a big cake where we do the rhythm game minigame again, and we finally have the best meal of all time. We bring out the meal and everything works out perfectly. Or maybe not. This is it, the final chase scene in the game. Now we're doing it inside of the Gusteau's restaurant. This head chef having a schizo meltdown and a rat jumping on all the food, all the glasses, all the tables inside of a restaurant that I think is open, but no one's in. This one is super cool just because it's in the restaurant and we don't really get to see much of it, not even in the movie. So being able to be in here is pretty cool. But eventually we get far enough away and for some reason the pillars of the building collapse and everything works out.
Well, little chef, it looks like Gusteau's is ruined.
Oh, I guess it doesn't work out. Gusteau's closes down and everybody dies, I guess. The end. Honestly speaking, I had a lot of fun playing this game. It was short, sure, even with all my troubles, I beat this game in around an hour and a half. And every level follows the same structure of setting up a heist and playing mini games to do it. But I think each level mixes it up just enough to make it fun and interesting for each one. All the environments, excluding the City of Lights, were really cool. I liked traversing around this game a lot. I thought that was really fun. And overall, this game is good. It's actually good. I'm sorry if you were expecting something more deep and insightful from me for this game, but really it was just a simple, fun experience. To cap it off, as I was researching for this game, I found a speedrun of it that is fairly popular for what it is. I didn't expect anybody to actually be playing this game, yet there's a fairly active community for this game. Hell, it was even an SGDQ and oh, baby. I am thinking of learning a speedrun for some type of game because I think it would make for good streaming content when I'm not really doing anything. So if you're interested in me trying to speedrun this game, leave a comment and I may do it. That's about all there is for Ratatouille though. I had a lot of fun playing this game, honestly. And yeah, let's move on.
Going from a movie about being a rat to a movie about being rodents, the next stop on our licensed game journey leads us to frickin' Over the Hedge. Sorry, I thought I sounded like too much of a game reviewer there for a second. I had a couple jokes, you know? Honestly speaking here, this was the last game I finished for this video, and if you can't tell, this is without a doubt the shortest section. One big reason for that is because I think we need a bit of reprieve from speaking about fucking Ratatouille for the PS2 for 20 goddamn minutes. But the other reason is, out of all the games here, this one is the most samey, meaning every level not only follows the same structure, but they're also played nearly identically. I don't know what El Max was talking about in this video when he said that this was the best game ever, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Being totally serious, my first draft of this part of the video repeated the phrase, beat up evil critters way too much for me to waste your time going too in depth in every level here like I did for Ratatouille. You know what's not samey though? That's right, baby. Zenith hats! With a brand new, clean, sleek, not anime weave design, the new sketch set is live for a limited time right now. We got crew necks for the final weeks of winter, short sleeve shirts and nice light designs for the upcoming spring, and brand new Zenith hats that you can wear all year. I love this design. I think it looks amazing on clothing. I've always been a fan of simpler designed clothes. And when I think of clothing designs, I always want to make stuff that, you know, people can wear in public without it looking like some degenerate YouTuber merch. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. If you have the time, check out the store. I don't post enough to get things like lucrative sponsorships, and I am in loads of debt, baby. So any amount of support helps. Thank you for listening. Real quick, back to the video. We start off being right outside of a human's house, being ready to break into it. No, literally, that is exactly how it happens.
Maybe going inside a human's house wasn't such a good idea.
And to do that, we have to walk around, dodge all the security systems, and do a couple short throwy puzzles on the way. This is the first level, so nothing really is difficult. And this place is mainly here to show you the ropes of the controls and to commit property damage. We also run into our first enemies, which go down without a hitch. And then with the help from Stella, we get inside of the house. By the way, right now we're playing as RJ and Vern, and we can switch between them anytime we want, but I don't want to play as Vern, so I played as RJ instead. We go into the kitchen, disable the security system with Hammy, and now we have a limited amount of time to steal stuff from the pantry before the the humans wake up, I guess. That's my best guess. Unfortunately, though, the humans do wake up, and right outside the door is the evil exterminator, who ends up capturing Vern and Hammy. RJ leaves, though, because he's a fucking dick, and he has to give the food to the evil bear. I don't remember if this is, like, how the movie goes at all, by the way. But RJ, seeing our friends being taken away, decides to do the right thing and come back to save them. Yeah, I don't know if this is how the movie is at all. I don't remember this happening ever. Now we're inside the exterminator's truck, and our goal is to beat up some evil critters and save all our locked up rodent friends before they all get taken to die. I would classify Over the Hedge as a beat 'em up style game. Sure, there are some short puzzles and platforming aspects here, but most of the game we're going to be beating up a lot of enemies and just traversing around the area. But for now, once we save the critters, we end up crashing the car somehow, and now we have to go over the hedge. Or under the hedge, or I don't know. This is another scripted chase sequence, kind of like the one in Ratatouille. The difference here is we just have to avoid obstacles throughout the way. That being trees, sticks, the exterminator's baton, and even the hand from the bear, because he's pissed now. I don't know what the deal was with all these PS2 games having these sort of chase sequences, but I don't mind. They're pretty cool. We do this until time runs out, and we get back to home. We do a cutscene where we have a TV with electricity somehow. They call me the scenic gamer. And now we're inside of our hedgy home. This is our hub world where we can do things like switch characters, watch secret game trailers.
Shrek Super Slam. Dog, if I ever do a video on bad license games, that'll be one of them.
By the way, guys, if you ever want to see that video, make sure to like and subscribe and smash the notification bell.
Or even put on some drippy hats.
Oh, baby, I'm dripping.
I'm dripping. Hey, Stella, I'm dripping. Vern, I'm dripping. You can switch characters here, but I actually never ended up doing that because the characters that I had already were Hammy, who is dripping, and RJ, who's the cool leader of the group. I don't know why anyone would want to play as Stella, and don't even get me started on Vern. Vern is the most boring motherfucker in the entire planet.
Granted, it takes some time to chew, but that was very satisfying.
So I just played as Hammy and RJ the entire way through. We start the next level on the night streets, and it's about here where I realized that this game is not very fun. The first level was a pretty interesting start. You know, there was some platforming, there were some challenges, there was a lot of variety in the gameplay here, but this right here is pretty much what you're going to be doing all game. For 90% of the levels coming up, our goal is to walk to the end, beat up some evil possessed critters by the exterminator, steal maybe one or two things by picking it up and putting it in an area, and then taking food. It's not that this is bad per se, but it took me a really long time to even try to begin this section, because outside of having cool hats, what am I supposed to say here? Oh, I'm the drip king. It doesn't help with the fact that every single enemy in this game is an absolute damage sponge, where even the weakest enemies take multiple ground combos to even knock out. I wouldn't really be complaining about this per se if this wasn't as prevalent as it is, because again, there is stuff here that is interesting and is pretty cool that I do want to go over, but man, I don't know how I'd be able to sit through this game without second monitor content keeping me awake. This street level is fine, though. We get introduced to enemy spawners, aka trash cans, that we have to destroy so enemies stop spawning. And we also get introduced to boss fights here, where important enemies get a health bar that you have to whittle down to 0. You know what a health bar is. I'm not going to explain to you what a fucking health bar is. We also get our first weapon change. This one being what I presume to be a ping pong ball launcher, where you shoot a bunch of little ping pong balls that bounce around different enemies and do quite a bit of damage. Once we defeat this boss guy, we get our second epic crown, and then the rest of the level is yeah, unfortunately, it's just not super interesting. We go into this backyard, dodge a bunch of laser traps, destroy a ton of enemy spawners, go on a roof to find Penny's missing kids, and then we just do a lot of walking and beating up enemies. Ooh. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm skimming through this. There's just a lot of game here, but not a lot to say. Like, I could talk about the story going on, but honestly, I don't think it matters all that much. I don't even think the game devs thought the story was super important here, because every single mission ends up being the same: collect this projector, defeat some bad guys, and then steal some food. So let's just skim through some of this and let's go over the interesting bits. A big positive to this game is that you actually get to go inside a lot of houses, like we did for the first mission and multiple missions after. And even though the objectives in these houses are mainly just beat up these people and collect food, the change in environment and the feeling that you're a little rodent running around this suburban house does feel pretty cool. I don't know if I have any legitimate reasons why though, or if that's just my McNally loving fucking head ass. After doing the indoor mission, the second level though, and collecting a bunch of food, putting it in this wheelbarrow, we get to what's without a doubt the worst section in the game. This is a pseudo escort mission style where Mr. Opossum over here slowly rolls this cart and every 5 seconds fakes his death because he gets scared of one enemy. What we gotta do is defeat all the enemies in this slow fashion, and if I didn't say that I got bored of this immediately, I'd be lying to you. And look, normally I do enjoy this type of gameplay, but when the controls boil down to press circle a trillion times to swing your attack, and then having to do it so many times while this guy slowly walks towards the goal, this is not it, man. The next mission, we're on a train, because of course we are. And what we have to do here is go into separate train cars and defeat a bunch of enemies in each one. We're given a lot of ping pong ball shooters here, so we're actually able to hit the enemies, and that's it. Let's just keep moving. We're now at the carnival, because it's the carnival. And it was at this point, about an hour into the game now, that I stopped trying to beat up enemies and I just started trying to jump over everything I could to beat the game faster. After the carnival, there is a pretty interesting looking mission because we're at what looks like a birthday party and our main goal is to destroy this castle. Now, I don't understand the significance of why we should do that, but you know, I don't really care. I'm just kind of gaming, dude. Once we do that, we then hop on a bunch of power lines and we platform around trying not to die of electrocution. Then we get into the attic of the house where we just, you know, steal shit. We break into the house, which is flooded, go on top of a pool table, destroy a bunch of things. This is just really cool. I do want to emphasize how cool these like Y2K style houses were with the big pool table and the giant CRT television, all that stuff. It is just a cool looking house that you get to break into and steal shit from. But yeah, then we do another escort mission. Great. And then we go in a cave and we fight the big bear guy from the beginning. At least I think it's the big bear guy. I don't really know. Do you see how tedious this game begins to feel after a while? We do another night break-in mission, and to up the difficulty, every single enemy here is a gigantic badger that takes even more hits. So the difficulty stems from how many times you have to press the circle button. Look, I'm not a hater, I swear. Like, this game is pretty fun. It's just hard to describe. The houses we go into get more complex. We have another escort mission. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Then we go into what I deem is the most interesting level in the game, which is this old-timey carnival-style level. What's just a bit frustrating about this level is that you're not really able to skip a lot of it because the game intentionally stops you and forces you to fight the same 5 enemies over and over again. But outside of that, they do switch it up a little bit by making this like little golf game that you have to play. And then near the end of the level, I died and I had to redo it all over again. Yeah, that means every single time I got stopped, I had to redo because I ended up dying at the end. Oh boy, I was not happy with that one.
No way. Are you kidding? Oh my fucking god, this is so stupid.
We then do this boss fight on a roller coaster, which is epic sauce. There's also this gigantic fight with a bunch of tractors. Oh my god. And now we're at the final level of Over the Hedge. I want you to take a wild guess of what you do for the final level of Over the Hedge. That's right, baby. You go into rooms and you beat up enemies. Yeah, so again, you just go into a room, you beat up some enemies, and then the objective button you have to press starts to glow, meaning you can finally interact with it. You do this 4 times, then you can finally get to the final boss, which is the Exterminator. What we do here is pretty simple. We just walk around a circle and attack these 4 balls by thwacking it with our stick a trillion times until it explodes. Do this 4 times and the big evil Exterminator's contraption is ruined, and now we can finally destroy him. To destroy him, we have to run around finding this exposed area of wire on his gigantic contraption here. And while he's, you know, standing under it, make it fall down right on top of him. And we have successfully beaten Over the Hedge. Honestly speaking, going back to this game, I do have to admit that this one wasn't as good as I remember. Look, I know what you're thinking. This video is about good licensed games, right? What are you doing? And I'm not trying to say this game is bad by any means, because it's really not. If anything, it's fine. But to be completely real with you, my memory of actually playing this game was way better than actually replaying it. Seriously, by the end of my playthrough, I was just doing it out of obligation. But maybe the reason why I felt so jaded and bored by the end of this game was because I played through the entire 4.5 hour long campaign in one sitting. Maybe if I spaced it out a little more, maybe if I wasn't doing it like for obligation for this video, maybe I would be enjoying it more, but I probably just wouldn't have played it then, honestly. But before we move on and leave it on a sour note, I want to go over one big thing that I've been leaving out. That's right. The golf cart minigame, baby. This game rules, man. All this really is a simple bumper cart style game where you're driving golf carts and have to destroy your enemies by crashing into them, but there is just something so visceral about destroying all these cars. Power-ups are also introduced to add some variety, but really the main goal is just to hit things as hard as you can. This was the game I played the most when I was a kid, which speaks a lot for the quality of the actual single-player game. But man, this golf cart game is just so fun. Even coming back to this now, I just felt so much enjoyment in just crashing into people and hearing the same pre-generated 4 voice lines over and over again. But yeah, other than that, that's Over the Hedge. Again, this game isn't bad by any means. In fact, it's pretty good. See what I did there? Like, actually good. Well, honestly, I just got really, really bored by the halfway point. I'm sorry if you're a real Over the Hedger, but this one just didn't cut it the way the others did. I'm sorry.
Going from movies into TV, the next and final game I'm going to go over today is the Fairly OddParents Breakin' Dough Rules. Now, being honest, this is one that I've never finished as a kid. I really liked what I did play, but as a stupid idiot child, this game ended up being too hard for me. So most of my experience playing it was me walking around one of the beginning levels and spamming the Cosmo Wanda say something funny button until I got bored. That's not to say I never saw the rest of the game. I especially remember seeing my sisters play one specific level that utterly scared the shit out of me, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, it's time to break the rules and shit our pants. I didn't write anything for this.
The story is simple. Timmy's mom and dad are going away for the weekend, and the evil babysitter Vicky comes to fill in their place. While Timmy searches for a place to hide, he asks for Cosmo and Wanda to distract him, but then they talk about some boring, stupid rules. So Timmy, in his ever-growing hubris, wishes he can break the rules.
He said it! He said it!
But now fairy law says that whoever touches the rulebook next can steal the power of the fairy stupid enough to grant such a wish. Which was, us. And, oh, would you look at that? And now she has the unknowing power to wish anything in the world. Now we have to save the day as Timmy in our pajamas. This first area shows us the ropes of the game. It gives us platforms to learn. It's very slippery controls. We collect little crowns reminiscent of Super freaking Mario coins. And there's also a button we could press to make Cosmo and Wanda say a bunch of funny lines.
I had a secret identity once, but it was so secret even I didn't know what it was.
With that said, we're also introduced to the core mechanic of the game, that being the wish stars. These stars hold a small power of a wish inside of them, and after collecting 5 stars, they come together to make one singular wish. These stars are our main form of progression throughout the game. Pretty much every level, you collect 5 of them, make a wish, and then do something wacky for a little bit. But for now, we wish to wake up, because Timmy took 40 Benadryls, and now we're stuck in our room.
Oh geez, grounded again. Mom and Dad aren't home. That means I can jump on the bed. You're given a choice of 3 levels in this room, and I decided to do the first one I saw, that being a badge too far. The Cream Puffs and the Squirrely Scouts are going camping, and even though Timmy's excited to just have a nice fun time, Vicky wishes that the Squirrely Scouts were under the Cream Puffs' control. Uh-oh. We wake up and all our Squirrely Scout buddies are missing. The only thing they left us is a power star. Going through the level, we find some Squirrely Scouts who are tied up, and we have to save them all from the evil Cream Puffs, while also not being caught by their guard. This game's so unrealistic. Women controlling men? Imagine. We go down pretty far until we find Chuck, and he opens the door for us to get our 5 power stars. Once we get all 5, we land on this wish platform right in front of this inconspicuous looking log right here. And as you can see, there is no way through. So you know what we have to do? Wish for Cosmo to be a chainsaw. And now we can saw down this gigantic tree and get across the other side. We do some more platforming, save some more kids, escape from more women. And throughout, there's a lot of platforming challenges involved. There's one specific section where you have to cut a giant tree to even get to. That's just a massive floating island with no land beside it. And there's also a Cream Puff patrolling there. I don't know how they got there, but man, they are dedicated to their work. Anyway, after a couple minutes of platforming, finding power stars along the way, and getting caught, we finally get enough to make another wish, and we wish to be a girl. Ew. The reason for being a stupid girl is actually a good one though, because we are in disguise, and our new goal is to break into the Cream Puffs' lair and dismantling Vicky from the inside out. We convinced the Cream Puffs that we're Tim Antha, and we're inside the lair. Our goal now is to find the 4 Squirrely Scouts hidden in these tents, and every time we save one, they teach us one dance move for the Vicky dance. For some reason, even though we're already in disguise, if these spotlights find us, we are caught. I don't know how that works, but okay. But after saving 4 Squirrely Scouts, we go up to the guard Cream Puffs, and we do our DDR dance. Once we epically own the Cream Puffs with our moves, we're allowed inside Vicky's mansion. Once we're inside, we learn that Vicky has these powers from witch-charged merit badges, so we quickly steal them, and then Our disguise is gone, and Vicky's pissed. Now we have to do another chase sequence where we have to run towards the camera away from Vicky. I'm telling you guys, I didn't plan this at all. I guess this was just like a common trope back in the day. I don't know. But yeah, we got our basic platform materials. We have to jump over hills and logs and all that stuff. And we can't let Vicky catch us. And once we get back home, it seems like we've reached a dead end until the cream puffs come to save us. And Vicky just walks away, I guess. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be.
And we've successfully defeated Vicky in one adventure.
Up next, we're going into the chinless blunder. Vicky has a really long specific wish, and we're now stuck in the Crimson Chin universe. What's even worse is that the Crimson Chin is fat and useless and complains about casual matchmaking in Team Fortress 2. And what we gotta do is roam around this city area, collecting the 5 wish stars to gain his powers back. This level is by far the most basic one. We're put in this hub world, we collect the 5 stars that don't change positions, and then we fight one of the evil villains. The first one is this barn-headed guy, and we wish for this magic propeller blade to cut a bunch of pig balloons. And somehow after cutting a bunch of them, you win and you put him in jail. After every boss fight, we get a cool little cutscene of the Crimson Chin getting his powers back. But yeah, this level is not as interesting as anything else in this game. But yeah, we collect the stars again, and now we have to fight Spatula Lady. To do that, we roam around this really red area, and we press 3 buttons to deactivate these mixers, so the mayor is saved. After that, Spatula Woman gets pissed, and now it's time for our first real boss fight. The way Spatula Woman attacks us is with these hearts, and we use these big boxes to dodge them. Then while she taunts us, we attack with our Batarang. Oh yeah, by the way, we asked for a Batarang to attack Spatula Woman. We do this until she destroys every single other box, and then we kill her. After that, Ultra Lord gets his charisma back, but not for freaking long. Now we have to collect the wish stars again. Our third fight is against Disco Dude on the roof. This is without a doubt my favorite section in this level. You go from roof to roof with your wish granted grappling hook, and this funky tune plays the entire time. You also have to defeat these baddies by using your your chin punching glove, and all we gotta do is follow the really tall DJ guy until we get to the end of the level, in which then he turns into a helicopter and we grapple onto him. Then we have to hold this meter in the center until his health reaches 0. And just like that, Ultra Lord, and just like that, the Crimson Chin is saved. I admittedly did breeze by this level. This one was probably the most boring one out of all of them, mainly because the scenery doesn't change much. You just collect the 5 wish stars in the exact same spot. But I also think this is meant to be the first level you play, so I'll give it a pass. Especially because the next level, the Vicky Virus, is actually kind of hard. Chester and AJ are here to game out with some gamers, and Vicky being just an asshole. Why are you involving yourself? Wishes for them to live in the video game. Who wishes for this shit? This is like the one day she shouldn't be wishing for shit. Now she's just wishing for everything. But now we're in the video game. This is so freaking retro. We're given a cool little gamer blaster. Take a shot every time I say gamer. And we have to get into the lair by platforming and collecting wish stars. You're also faced up against a bunch of evil monkeys who throw auto-locking projectiles at you. So they're pretty annoying if you don't instantly kill them. Anyway, we collect a wish star, and then, oh my god, he's got hops. So we press a button so we can platform through. And maybe this level isn't hard, but I just suck ass at this game. We go inside, and there's an even bigger platforming lava section. And our goal here is to get through while collecting the 2 wish stars inside. Once we finally get through, we have to play a little bunny minigame, but they're evil bunnies and they pop when you hit them. I'm not entirely sure if this is necessary, but you get a lot of freaking crown coins when you do it, so I mean, why not? And then we transform into the ice level. And look, the final wish star.
I've got 5 stars. I can make a wish.
Yeah, I know, Timmy. And with our wish, we make Cosmo and Wanda a snowplow so we can get across to the other side while collecting the wish star that's hidden here. To be completely real with you, this is slow and boring and slow. So I'm gonna skip through it. Once we get through, we get to Epic Gamer World. We find AJ trapped behind some lasers, so we press a button to free him, but then we're trapped behind lasers. So now we have to play as AJ to save the day. To do that, we do this racing mini game where we have to hit a bunch of checkpoints before this timer at the top right runs out. And I won't lie, this is a pretty fun mini game. I don't know why we're supposed to do it, but it was fun. And it wasn't pushing ice blocks, so that's cool. Eventually we make it to the other side, we press a button, and then Timmy is saved. We go across this bridge, collect a wish star, and then...
Careful, Timmy! Watch out for the...
Oh my god. Timmy and AJ are stuck, and Chester has to save the day. To do that, we have to play this little Galaga-esque minigame. It's not hard at all. You have infinite ammo, and you can go around pretty quickly.
If anything, the hardest part of this level so far was the platforming in the beginning. But don't tell anyone I said that, okay?
So we easily stop the bees, and then Timmy is saved. Now it's time for the final section. We have to climb up this mountain, collecting this wish star while we're there, and dodge all these roly-poly rocks. The depth perception here is pretty difficult to get a hold of, and I ran into a lot more roly-polies than I wanted to. But then we get to the top, we make a wish for super discs to attack the virus. And now it's time to fight the Vicky brain. What we gotta do here is dodge these lasers, and then when Vicky's base opens up, we hit the little red spot with our super discs. Do that 6 times, and we've easily defeated the villain.
That's right, Vicky. Take this and this.
Whoa, cool game, Timmy. Yeah, can't wait for the sequel. Enough games, time for chores.
No, chores! Now that we're done with that level, the door to the second half of the game opens up, but there's also a door to the bathroom that I didn't check beforehand, so it's time to take a poopy. This level, Vicky is pissed at you because your own private bathroom is dirty. God, clean your freaking bathroom, Timmy.
Maybe I should have a bath. It's been 3 weeks.
There's also a spider in the bath, which makes Vicky. Timmy confidently claims he can take care of that spider. He jumps in with whimsy. Then while Vicky is terrified with her eyes closed, she wishes Timmy could scrub every little nook and tiny cranny. And instantly, Timmy becomes a tiny little man. And now we're stuck in Germinator world.
Is that the Fetch with Ruffman game?
We're Mini Timmy in our mini space suit from that one Fairly Odd Parents episode. You know that one? And we gotta make it out here live. If the germs don't kill us first. Ew. Man, if only this tub was machine washable. Just like the Zenith hat at zenithzv.com. We have a little spray gun we can use to attack the germs. And once we hit them, they turn into golden little globulons. But that's not our main goal. Our main goal is to get to the end and just moving forward in a linear path. There's a bit of platforming. You have to ride these purple clouds for a bit. But eventually we get 5 wish stars and we wish for a Q-tip to be able to balance on these long, stringy tight ropes. Now, to be completely real with you, I was stuck on this next section for about 40 minutes. It's not anything too difficult. You just have to get to the end while platforming and riding this tightrope and all that stuff. But since I'm bad at video games, I ended up completely dying here and I had to restart. And what I didn't realize at the time is that I missed a wish star. So I ended up having to go all the way back. And then I realized that my wish for the tightrope disappeared. So I kept trying to ride the tightrope, but I kept falling off immediately. Dude, what the fuck am I doing wrong? What the fuck? How? I can't even ride the tightrope. Oh my god, wait. Did I lose my wish? Oh, fuck me, dude. How do I even get back to it? So after like 10-15 minutes of me trying to get back to the wish platform to get my tightrope ability back, I finally made it to the other side with all 5 wish stars, and I was able to wish for low gravity. And now I can platform up these platforms. We also collect 5 more wish stars on the way, and then we get to Soapland. This is it, Soapland. And to take control of Soapland, we have to kill the final germ boss. To do this, we have to dodge a germ's germy attacks. And then while his mouth is open as he's burping, we fire our soap rocket launcher right in his mouth. Do that 3 times and hopefully not die. And we saved the day. I think this was a completely bonus level, but it was for sure the hardest one so far. And honestly, I was kind of worried about the rest of the game because this point on is uncharted territory for me. I actually never got past the Vicky virus as a kid, so yeah, it's time to go downstairs into our first level, that being Bad Luck 101. Timmy has to go to school on a Saturday.
And as the school bus arrives, it splashes water on Vicky. Timmy, laughing, points out how unlucky she is, and Vicky wishes that he would get all the bad luck. You know what that means.
The anti-fairies are here. Oh no.
And to start off our new bad luck cycle, as Timmy walks to the school, he slips on a banana peel. So now our goal is to traverse the school and survive. Literally, as you enter the doors, you go under a ladder, and then, oh my god, this first section is just a collective of obstacles, mainly being wrecking balls trying to kill you. And all you gotta do is dodge them, get through, collect the power stars in the way, and move on. Now it's time for our first wish, and we wish for an anti-fairy capture device so we can destroy those evil anti-fairies. By coincidence, we see our first one. So we lock onto it, and we have to keep this meter in the green to be able to lower its health. And there you go, 1 anti-fairy captured. It's time for the next obstacle in the game, which is, oh my god. We now have to collect 5 power stars in this, area while trying to stay away from Mr. Crocker's sight. Now, I don't know what it is about Mr. Crocker here, but he scared the ever-living shit out of me. Well, actually, I do know what it is, because look at him. That and this being a stealth mission where you can't be seen, it was just such a, like, a scary environment. But going back in it now, you tend to realize how stupid Mr. Crocker is. Where even is he? Oh, there he is.
Hi, Mr. Crocker.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. So doing this was a lot easier than I expected it to be. For our second wish, we wish for spring shoes, and we use this to go over this big obstacle course with like a pool and multiple school buses. I don't remember any of this being in the actual school, but pretty cool. And now we have to catch this next anti-fairy, and to do that, we have to go through this really long obstacle course. Ugh. Now, being real, this is the most fun obstacle course so far. Mainly because there are challenges here where a gate opens for a short period of time and you have to go through the entire obstacle course to win. But I mean, like, what else am I meant to talk about? You just run and jump and fart and poop and shit. Once we get past, we see the second anti-fairy and we lock him up free of charge. Now it's time for the final section of the level, which is another Crocker mission. Oh no. As you traverse throughout the halls, Crocker will come out of every single door here, trying to find our fairy godparents. Oh god. Now, as a kid, this probably seemed a lot scarier than it is, mainly because Crocker's coming out of the blue and it looks scary like that. But really, all you gotta do is just stand behind these plants. And then once he leaves, he won't come back again. So you can just go up to the next plant and do that multiple times. Once we get to the end, we wish for rocket shoes and we zoom around this auto scroller. Now we have to go through the library full of a bunch of falling books. There's the bad luck again. It's been a little while since we've seen. I guess Crocker's bad luck, but we get through this area full of a bunch of automatic carts running around and books falling. And now it's time for the final anti-fairy. This arena has a bunch of obstacles on the ground, that being books that you have to jump over if the anti-fairy leads you there. Other than that, it's kind of simple. And bada bing, bada boom, we've captured all our bad luck. Now we go down this inconspicuous looking elevator to Crocker's evil lair. We do a couple platforming challenges here, get to Crocker's Crocker van. Use our anti-fairy catching machine to inject the anti-fairies into the Crocker mobile. Then we go all the way around to the exit just to see. Holy shit. He just exploded. Fairy godparents. Oh my god. We are done with Bad Luck 101. Without a doubt, the scariest level in the game. It really wasn't that scary. I'm just a little bitch. Up next is Crash Landing. Vicky's mad at Timmy because it's a boring day. Oh. And then she wishes for aliens to attack her. And even though we love the idea of Vicky being gone for good, we also kind of need her back because mom and dad will kill us. Also, we need the book. So, I mean, and into the level we go. The aliens have attacked Springfield. Aliens have attacked Dimsdale. And it's up to us to save them. To do that, we collect 5 wish stars so we can wish for epic boxing gloves. We also see a couple Yugo-Botanians here who will shoot us with deadly bubbles. And the way to beat them is you just walk up to them and they get really scared and they teleport away. With these boxing gloves, we can destroy every house in Springfield. Obviously, there's nobody in here because this is a PlayStation 2 game. Let's just say it's under construction. Anyway, we do that to get outside of the town, collect 5 more wish stars, and we turn into Crash Nebula. Well, not really, just Timmy in a spacesuit, but we're Crash Nebula. And now it's time for us to go into the alien lair. I'm not gonna lie, this part, kind of blue. You just go around doors pressing buttons to advance, doing this kind of Frogger-esque gameplay in the middle here. And then we have to do this really long and boring auto-scroller section where we stand on the platform labeled with the big arrow and wait for it to get to the next platform so we could jump on that. I get it's trying to be future-y and cool and all that shit, but man, I just did not care at all. We end up wishing for a jetpack too, which was pretty cool. But then once we get to the end, because I'm going to skip the rest because it's all the auto scroll, we have to go against Mom and Dad Alien Man. And to do that, we have to prove our worth to them by doing these multiple trials. The first trial, walk through the flowery field. But the flowers are evil. You just kind of walk through and don't let the flowers eat you. And then you win. The next one is kill the evil teddy bears. These guys just take one shot of our super pillow cannon to beat. And the final challenge is to go through the chocolate lake full of marshmallows and press the big red button. Press 4 big red buttons and you've proven you're braver than the aliens. And we've saved the world and everything's back to normal.
It looks like everything worked out perfectly. Or maybe not.
Now Vicky's back. So we have to keep playing the freaking game. We're almost done though. We have 2 more levels left. The next one being time warped. Vicky is doing her history homework and Timmy is making fun of her because she's stupid. And Vicky wishes that Timmy could see that history would have been so much better the way I wrote it. And then Timmy dies. And into the level we go. We're now in medieval Britain, back when King Arthur was around. But unfortunately, King Arthur is a nerd. And we gotta save the fabric of history and time itself by going in and saving the day. Vicky really fucked things up, man. Oh my god. Once we collect our 5 wish stars outside the castle, we wish for a grappling hook so we can jump over all these hay bales and barrels and stuff. Thankfully, there are a trillion target signs everywhere that we can latch onto, with massive X's too. And once we get in, we see Excalibur, made for only the true King of England. Then we freaking epically pull it and we transform into Arthur. Okay. Now that people saw Arthur pull Excalibur out, we have to sneak it back to him so the real Arthur can be the true hero. And yada, yada, yada. We end up doing it and we get warped to the next world. Now we're in ancient Egypt where the Great Pyramids are. But the pyramids are cubes. Oh no. All I gotta do here is get wish stars, wish for a magic hammer that can break down shit, avoid all the evil, scary enemies and mummies, and turn these massive cubes into pyramids. There's a lot more going on here that I'm not really discussing. We do a lot of stealthy shit here where we have to, you know, not be caught by the enemy. I don't want to highlight how cool this level is. I really do think it's an awesome level. There's just not much to say when it comes to walking around the areas and dodging shit. But it's not to say it's bad. It's actually really goddamn fun. Once we get to the end though, we see 3 more pyramid cubes. We turn them into regular pyramids and the Egyptians seem pretty freaking interested. Now we saved the day, but we have to do it one more time because we're in ancient Greece. Now I can explain what we do here, but I'm gonna let my friend RGT do it instead.
A Keebler elf named Zelda goes onto Moana's island to find her husband, F. Scott Fitzgerald.
You get that? So the way we do that is to wish for AI artists to be good.
How's this good work?
It's beautiful.
And we fix these statues that are holding hot dogs into holding the actual right thing, that being a bowling ball. We keep walking around, we fix more statues, platform a freaking lot more. And once we fix it all up, we saved ancient Greece. Somehow, and history is saved. Now it's time for the final level before our final boss, called A Dog's Life. Timmy's enjoying some milk when Tootie comes in. Tootie's in love with Timmy and she's talking about some stupid girl stuff like loving dogs. Blech, gross. And then Vicky comes to yell at Timmy because, you know, Timmy sucks. And she wishes that Timmy was as easy to take care of as her dog.
Now we're a freaking epic doggy. Oh no.
We run away from Tootie because that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. And then something worse happens. We get put in one of those mall dog stores that kill the dogs. And into a dog's life we go. Our first goal is to escape the prison. And that's pretty freaking easy. Oh my god. Ugh. Now we have to walk around this really cramped mall area, collecting our wish stars while avoiding Tootie chasing us. Now this mall is kind of like Target where you just kind of get lost. There's no discernible way to tell where you're going. It's just this massive maze. So finding the 5 wish stars actually took quite a bit of time here. There's also Tootie who's meant to chase you around the entire time, but as I was doing this, her AI broke and she just stood on this treadmill stuck.
Tootie, I'm right here. Woof, woof, woof.
Whoa!
Okay, bye, Tootie.
I still didn't know where to go though, so I ended up asking Tootie for assistance.
Tootie, where should I go? This way? Okay, Tootie.
Tootie actually led us to the right way because we have to go into this ventilation shaft and wish for night vision. Now we just go through this linear maze. It's really not that bad. Then we platform to get into these vents. And once we get through there, we get to the washing machine section and the actual mall, which looks like an absolute fucking nightmare to shop in. There are no bridges to walk towards. How do these people even get out? What? We platform all the way through, make another wish, and our wish is to dig through flowers. Now we just go through digging through flowers and doing quick little platforming challenges along the way until we get to an awesome mud pit and we jump inside of it. Tootie seeing this gets all grossed out by how disgusting we are as a dog. Oh, we're so dirty. Oh, yeah. We turn back into a human and everything is okay. But wait, something's opened up. That's right, the ultimate challenge. We are back in Fairy Court where Jorgen tells Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda that they're missing all but one piece of the rules. To get it, they set up the ultimate challenge where Vicky gets placed into an arena and turns into a dragon, and then Timmy needs to get her to say, I wish I never took the book from Timmy, by having her land on these designated platforms, which she says the word when she lands on the platform, I guess. That's, I don't know how that works, but okay. I won't lie though, this level sucks. This is the first part since the germ level where I really felt like I wasn't having any fun here, because honestly it's just boring. Vicky spits out some flames and she flies to where you're standing at the current time. It's kind of like the spatula one boss fight, but longer even. It's not really engaging in any way. The hardest part is figuring out which pressure plate is the right one. But man, it kind of sucks that this is the end of the game. Maybe they're being rushed to make an ending. I'm not sure, but this feels way less creative than nearly every other level in this entire game. But once we do that, we get the final page of the rules back. Cosmo turns into a cake and everything is back to normal. And that is the Fairly OddParents Breakin' rules. I won't lie, this game was really fun. Sure, the controls were slippery as hell. It uses the same formula throughout the entire game, and the bathtub level can blow me. But every level has something unique enough about it to make it all feel special in its own way. From being in an epic video game to helping the Crimson Chin become less like Boogie 2988 to traveling around all parts of history to Crocker. Really, I can't diss this game at all, because for every section that isn't so great, there's at least 5 parts that I got really into. But yeah, Fairly OddParents Breakin' Rules gets an actually good out of 10. And with that, our licensed game journey has come to a close.
Overall, I had a pretty good time playing these games. Ratatouille was a fun, albeit short, adventure with a lot of cool set pieces and gimmicks throughout, to where I felt like it was a very engaging game the entire time. Fairly OddParents Breakin the Rules had so many cool ideas. Every level felt different, even if the style of playing was the same. There was always something to shake it up and make me really enjoy my play session. And Over the Hedge was kind of mid. But the go-kart game was fun. So boys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that sub button. I'm trying to hit 100K by the end of the year, and subbing is really the best way to tell me if I'm doing a good job. Thank you to my patrons. They're on the screen right now. Patreon in the description. I really do appreciate their support. And yeah, that's about it. See you.